What does Howie Roseman have brewing in that beautiful brain of his? Could he possibly thinking of trading for a linebacker in the last year of his contract named Devin White?
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. You know, Howie Roseman is like an evil genius. He's like a mastermind. He's always calculating the calculations of the cornbread. He always has something brewing, always adjusting his Napoleon hat, his pocket pencil protector, his glasses. He's always got something going. And could it be that he's actually looking at landing a big-name linebacker who's in the last year of his rookie contract? You guys asked me to talk about it, so we're going to get into it in a minute. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure everything is still good to go. Now, before we get exactly into this whole thing, we do got to talk about a little bit of Eagles news, all right? And the first thing is the Eagles are having another visit today. Iowa edge Lucas Van Ness is visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. This kid's quite an interesting prospect. I think he's going to actually be a pretty good player. He's 6'5", 272 pounds, and he could be perfect for the Philadelphia Eagles. I've seen him going anywhere from top 10 to the back end of the first round. I think the 30th pick would be an interesting pick for him, no doubt about it. So we'll see. But I think he's actually somebody that intrigues me a little bit, and somebody I need to definitely go watch more. But he's in for a visit, and we're gonna have a lot of these visits coming, over the next month. Now, one of the things that I woke up to today was this rumor or this news about Devin White and the possibility that he could be traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, when I first heard this, I had a bunch of DMs. There was like several DMs, people tweeting me, putting things in notification, asking me to talk about this rumor about Devin White. And the one thing that interests me about Devin White right off the bat is the fact that the Eagles like guys in the last year of their contracts. Devin White is in the last year of his contract. He's a great linebacker, and he's going to get big money next year. They're talking somewhere, when he gets his contract extension, somewhere in around the $20 million range, okay? But it does interest me that he's in the last year of his contract. Howie likes to make trades for guys in the last year of their contract. So when I got all these DMs, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I decided I'm going to go look into this, right? And I really didn't find anything, and people asked me to talk about it, so I'm going to bring it up. But I didn't see anything. There wasn't anything concrete. The only thing I found was what I was showed here, where it says somebody said, Technofreak sent this to me, said, and shout out to him, but him and several other people showed me this. It says, saw this Philly. Does he want to be an Eagle? And basically, you have Greedy is signing his contract. He says Philly, and then Devin White comments in the comment section. He says, let's make it happen. Now, a lot of people are interpreting him saying let's make it happen to mean let's make it happen like him coming to Philly. Okay? I don't know. I didn't get that. I thought he was just basically cheering his friend on, getting ready to sign a contract. He's like, yeah, you sign a contract. Yeah, let's make it happen. Go sign that contract. That's kind of how I took it. I didn't take it to mean Devin White was possibly going to Philly, but I guess a lot of people took it this way. I was a little bit surprised that so many people commented to me about this, but they asked me to talk about it, and so I am. I don't really put much stock into this. I think Devin White in the last year of his contract, that would be more of a possibility than anything I saw here. But is Howie Roseman really going to go pay what? What would it cost for Devin White? First, second round pick. It's going to cost you a high pick, right? Then you're going to get him in for 1 year, and then you're going to let him out the door. I can't see the Eagles signing Devin White to a huge contract. The Eagles don't like to pay their linebackers. I mean, we know this just from their history. They don't like to pay their linebackers. But could they use a linebacker? Absolutely. Could they use Devin White? Absolutely. Would I love to see it? Absolutely. But based upon, unless I'm missing something, and somebody can send me something, unless I'm missing something, that was the only thing that was really out there at all about the possibility. So I think, I got to say, I hate to say it, but I think the whole Devin White thing's a big nothing burger. I don't think it has anything to do with anything. I just think he was cheering on his friend. But, we're in the off season, and that's what happens. A lot of different rumors, a lot of different scenarios. That's, to me, what makes the off season so much fun. I love it. I love it all. But I don't think there's much to it at this point. But I say this. If Howie Roseman could get a good deal on a linebacker in the last year of his contract for 1 year, yeah, he would do it, but he's not going to overpay for it. And listen, the Eagles do need linebackers. Although I got to tell you, I think Nicholas Morrow signing is a sneaky good signing. I think it's a gem. I think you have a kid who's coming into his own, coming into his prime, and he is going to be good. And he's going to be a lot better than people think. And I think the Eagles, they got to steal with Nicholas Morrow. And I think that's one of the other reasons why you're not going to see this whole Devin White thing. It's all nonsense. I don't see it happening. But it is interesting that Nicholas Morrow, out of all the linebackers, he's the youngest. He's the oldest. I'm sorry. He's the oldest at 27. Nakobe Dean, 22. Davion Taylor, 24. Christian Ellis, 24. Sean Bradley, 25. We've got a young group of linebacking cores, which, could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. But it's an Eagle thing, because the Eagles, they don't like to pay linebackers big money. It's just the way it is. So it is what it is. But I actually like Morrow. I actually think he's going to surprise some people. And then I like Nakobe Dean. So I actually think that the Eagles linebackers are going to be all right, especially if that pass rush is on par and that secondary is. So I still think you might want to add another defensive tackle, another pass rusher, and you also got to fix the safety spot. And I think they'll be able to hold up at the linebacking position. But we're going to find out. One other thing I like to talk about, and believe me, I know I've talked a lot about this. I've made the case several times, and I'm not going to try to keep rehashing this. I'm not going to be talking about this every day. But when something interesting comes up regarding Bijan Robinson to the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's interesting, I have to talk about it. And there was an article by Ed Kratz, and this came out yesterday. And the title of it was "A Path to the Eagles Potentially Drafting Bijan Robinson." And he says, GM Howie Roseman always looks at the big picture, and there will always be some tricky decisions that will need to be made with current group of offensive firepower in 2025. And I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to read one little section of it, but I'll put the link in the description for it. He goes on to talk about, you have guys going into 2026, you're going to have to decision on A.J. Brown. You're going to have to pay Dallas Goedert like a lot of money. You're going to have Devontae Smith contract extension coming up. And basically, a lot of the guys that you have on offense, you're going to have to figure out and take care of and use cap money to get those guys signed into extensions or whatever. And Howie Roseman, in the article, he talks about how he doesn't draft guys just saying, oh, we need this guy for this year or next year or 2 years. He looks 3 years at least down the road. He looks 3 years down the road and cap implications. And talking about the possibility of running backs where you're going to have Penny in the last year of a contract, Boston Scott in the last year of a contract. So you're going to do musical chairs with running backs every year. If Rashad Penny goes out and he has the year that everybody expects him to if he stays healthy, he's going to get big money. He's not coming back. So he's a 1 year rental, okay? And the Eagles, they may be looking at Bijan Robinson, not so much because of next year, like I would have it, but they may be looking at him more of, 2025, 2026. It's one position on offense you don't have to worry about, and it'll allow them to concentrate on the receivers, the tight ends, and it's an interesting perspective. He says this. He says, drafting him in the first round gives you a 4 years of control of a player considered the best and a very good crop of running backs entering this spring's draft. Okay, so he would be tied up for 4 years. Okay, so that means through 2026, Bijan Robinson and Jalen Hurts will be playing together through 2026. Now, here's the big part of it, and this is why it's so important. It wouldn't cost you any money. You would be paying him really, nothing compared to what other star running backs, what other free agents are making in the league. And here's last year's 10th pick. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson, okay? So he was the 10th pick in last year's draft. He signed a 4-year rookie contract worth $20 million, fully guaranteed, including a $12 million signing bonus. So 4 years, that's about $5 million, over $5 million a year minus the $12 million signing bonus. They're not paying Garrett Wilson anything, okay, for 4 years. If you take Bijan Robinson, let's say, at that 10 spot, and I'm not saying you should draft him at the 10th spot. I like to draft him later in the draft with my second first. But even if you did draft him then, you're going to be paying him far less than you're going to get any free agent running back that's any good, any less. So for 4 years, you would have Bijan Robinson, Jalen Hurts together. This would have free up money and free up space to allow you to extend A.J. Brown if you have to. Give Devontae Smith his new contract. Allow Dallas Goedert to get the money that I think they're going to owe him in 2025. So it's a very smart thing. And this is why Bijan Robinson could very well be in play. Because, yes, you don't take running backs typically in the first round. However, when a guy's as good as he's supposed to be, coming out, and then being able to tie him up for 4 years, right? Plus, I think there's an option here. That's a very, very great sell for the Eagles. He would be cheap. He would be under $5 million a year, most likely. So, something to think about, something worth reading for sure. I will put the link in the description. And with that said, let me know what you guys think about all of this. Probably, maybe, should be, we'll see. Be back later today with another video. So take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. One guy I thought that the Eagles would at least talk to or be a little bit interested in for 1 year, maybe on the cheap, would be Bobby Wagner. And maybe they still will. But he seems like a perfect vet to bring in to help with that young room. I think he would be the perfect fit. But the Eagles, we haven't heard anything about them even talking to him. So who knows? Denzel Washington out.